Hello and welcome to another video from me, the History Tutor, and today in this video we're looking at the AQA topic, conflict tension and the causes of the First World War, the 1894 to 1918 topic. And we're going to look at the big 16-mark essay at the end. So thank you for joining this lesson, and as I said, we're going to look at the causes of the First World War. So we're going to go through all of the main causes and try and write a big 16-mark essay. Do use the revision guide to help you. If you don't know much about my revision guide, I'll tell you more about them later, but I have a full revision guide full of lots of videos like this to help you with this complex conflict and tension topic. Firstly, though, we're going to have a little bit of a quiz, see how much you know about this topic. So let's go over to the quiz first. So this time as our quiz, we have a word search. So there are 10 words in this word search, all associated with major causes of the First World War. So pause, have a look, see if you can find the 10 answers, and I'll review them in a moment. Okay, so have we got on? Have we got lots of answers? So here are some of the keywords you might find. So Agadir crisis, Algeciras, obviously the Moroccan crisis again, and the assassination, the Balkan crisis, Central Powers, the alliance groups, of course, Entente, Franz Ferdinand and his assassination, nationalism, one of those major causes, the naval race between Britain and Germany that caused so much tension, and the Weltpolitik, Germany's world policy for causing war. So more about all those in a moment. But firstly, as I said, I was going to talk about my revision guide. So I have lots and lots of revision guides with lots of videos like this. Each one has 12 to 15 videos explaining a range of questions. Often in the exams, at least two of them are or similar worded questions come up in the exams. And of course, I'm preparing you with lots of skills for exams, and they're packed full of revisions card style knowledge throughout the exams, giving you all the essential facts you need. So you can find those in an Amazon link in the information of this video, or you can visit my website, thehistorytutor.co.uk, and find out more about these revision guides, or if you want some like one-to-one help, then find out more about that on that website. So now back to the question. All right, so here is the question. So the alliance system was the most important cause of the First World War. How far do you give this view? You've got 16 marks, and you're also going to get 4 marks for spelling, punctuation, and grammar. So this is quite a simply worded question. Is the alliance system to blame? Okay, but what skills do you think you would need to answer this question successfully? So have a think about what you think might be on the mark scheme. You know, what does 16 marks need? What sort of skills do you need to show? List some ideas of the skills you might need to refer to in answering this question. So you can pause me and just list some ideas. And of course, if you've got the revision guide, you can write ideas within that. Okay, over to you. All right, so you've got your ideas. So let's go through what are some of the skills we need. So 16 marks needs 3 paragraphs. So you need to respond to the alliance system, the cause given, and you're going to need to think about 2 more causes of your choice and explain them. You're going to need to obviously give structured paragraphs using an appeal technique, which I'll talk about during this lesson. You need to have some good factual knowledge. You're going to need to give some evidence in your appeal paragraph with some good knowledge. You'll need to obviously explain the impact of the examples you've given. How are they leading to war? You might need to think about ways they are causing war and ways they're not. So you might need to be a little bit balanced in your answer because you need to come to a judgment and a conclusion. You might need to explain more widely. So if you think something's more important, you might explain a basic reason why it's a cause, and then a more developed reason linking to more people and viewpoints about why it's a cause of the war. You might also want to consider evaluating your views. So you might explain why an idea is partly a cause of the war, and then maybe why it's not a cause of the war. So you're giving a strength and a weakness of the causes of the war. And of course, you need to conclude at the end, and your conclusion should be how much you agree with the statement. And you might not agree with it totally, so you might have sort of made that very clear in your other paragraphs. Okay, so how do we answer this question? Well, we need to think of our 3 arguments, first of all. We've been given the alliance system. So what do you think could be 2 other arguments? Maybe there's definitely more than 2. So what other arguments do you think there are? Have a think now. Okay, had a think, got some ideas? Right, so here's what I think. So Germany has an aggressive foreign policy, which I've discussed in some other videos, and you'll notice there's a page in the revision guide about that. And also we could talk about nationalism. There are lots of events to do with nationalism and increasing sort of love of country and desire to protect country. So you could think about that. There are, of course, other causes, but I think you'll find they're wrapped up underneath and within these wider ideas I've put here. So sometimes the examples and sort of points of argument are different things. Hopefully that'll become clear as we talk through these. So now start thinking about some knowledge. What would you talk about with the alliance system? How's the alliance system leading to war? What are the alliances? How does that alliance system lead to tension and war? Okay, what is the aggressive German foreign policy? How's that leading to war? And what areas of nationalism are there and how are they leading to war? So get some of your ideas. You can pause and list some of your ideas now as you start to plan your answer. Okay, so here's some ideas. You can sort of self-assess your work that you've written in your revision guide. So the alliance system, obviously this led to the encirclement of Germany. So France and Russia had their alliance, and this encircled Germany, and they felt sort of in fear. And obviously Britain added to that, like it was a more of an encirclement with the sea being sort of blocked off as well. So to solve this, Germany developed the Schlieffen Plan that would expand a local conflict into a wider war. So they were going to do a quick knockout blow on France and then turn around to attack Russia. That was going to lead to a more dramatic war. And of course, because of the alliance system, they had to support Austria. So that led to the blank check being given in 1914 by Germany. So this gave Austria sort of permission to do whatever it liked against Austria when there was the assassination. Okay, so then we've got aggressive German foreign policy. Of course, Germany had a large army and they had been involved in many wars. So people sort of maybe slightly fearful of them as a militaristic power. And obviously their military was important and it sort of guided their foreign policy ideas to some extent that war could solve problems. The naval race led to increased tension with Britain. And Britain obviously became worried about Germany and maybe they were more likely to go to war by 1914 because of naval race. And Germany's desire for an empire about politics led to increased tension in events like the Moroccan crisis, and that increased tension made countries sort of more likely to go to war again. So nationalism is really important as well. So you might struggle to think of nationalist ideas, but hopefully this will maybe make you think, oh yes, there are loads of important nationalist ideas. So French nationalism demanded the revenge for the defeat of the Franco-Prussian War in 1870 and wanted Alsace-Lorraine back. There was increased nationalism in the Balkans, which led to the Balkan War. So all that nationalism led to new independent nations appearing as they defeated the Ottomans. And then Serb nationalism really increased a lot in the Balkans. And obviously that led to the assassination of Franz Ferdinand because they wanted to create their greater Serbia. And you can see that that's obviously really important in causing war. You could also refer to British nationalism as well, in response to the naval race. We'd call that sort of idea of jingoism developing in Britain as they wanted to sort of maybe deal with Germany. So how do we structure this answer? So here's how we structure our Peel paragraph. So we respond to the question in our opening point and create an argument. Okay, it's really important in history to create an argument. We don't just describe events, we argue events. So the alliance system is very important as a cause of the First World War because it led to this. And then we can set up the argument. Because it led to this, you give that example of what it led to, then you can explain the impact. This meant alliance led to war because. Now, if you think that's really important, you can give a furthermore explanation. If you think it's less important, you can give an however. And of course, if you think it's less important, you could start your opening sentence not with very important, but partly important. So how would you start this paragraph off? So give an idea. You can see the writing frame in your booklet. If you're not working with a revision guide in mind, then do get one. But otherwise, you can use a piece of paper and have some free help here. So write out your opening sentence. How would you argue the alliance system is causing the First World War? Pause and give it a go. All right. So here's my idea. So the alliance system is very important as a cause of the First World War because it led to Austria being more aggressive in the events of July crisis 1914. So I've gone for that big short-term cause, gone straight for Austria. Austria is emboldened to deal with Serbia. And it's not really thinking about Russia or wider conflicts. Okay, so now some evidence. So what is in the alliance system that emboldens Austria to deal with Serbia? So think about some evidence. Jot some ideas down now. Okay, here's my ideas then. You can self-assess your idea. Did you put some nice facts in there, the nice ideas? For example, Germany had an alliance with Austria-Hungary from 1879, and they told Austria that they would fully support them in the crisis. This was called the blank check. So a blank check is the idea that, here you are, I'm going to give you a check. It's a check's a money thing. You don't really hear about them so much in your age. And so if it's a blank one, then you can fill in whatever amount of money you like. So obviously, Germany is giving Austria full support to do whatever they like. Okay, so the alliance has led to this blank check for Austria to deal with Serbia. So what's the impact of that? How can we explain how that led to war? Okay, so now you need some consequences. What happened because of this Austro-Hungarian support that was given by Germany? Okay, so explain your answer now. See if you can come up with some consequences. Okay, so here's my idea. So this meant the alliance had led to war because Austria-Hungary had the confidence to threaten and then declare war on Serbia during the crisis, even though they may have feared war with Serbia's protector, Russia. So the alliance system gives Austria the confidence to go and attack Serbia. They know Russia might attack because Russia is the protector of the Slavs, but they know that Germany is going to protect them and Germany will deal with Russia. So this meant the blank check and alliance led to war between Austria, Serbia, and Russia. So the war expands because of this alliance system to be a big regional war, not a local war, big regional war now. So how does the alliance system expand further? Well, there's more alliances, isn't there? A wider link takes you to other countries, other times, other places. So let's go to other countries. There are more alliances. Have a think. What are those alliances? How could you explain other alliances being involved now? Okay, so here's what I've got. So, furthermore, the 1892 alliance between Russia and France surrounded Germany and Austria-Hungary, which led to the German military developing the Schlieffen Plan. This meant the alliance system furthered the war, as the Schlieffen Plan led to Germany declaring war on France and Russia and then attacking France first to try to win a two-front war. Therefore, alliances were essential in turning a local problem into a world war. Okay, so that gives you a sense of the importance of the alliance system. And I've said it, very important. I've given two strengths of it. Okay. So what about the other arguments? Okay. So have a go at this one in your revision guide now. So, pause me, use the writing frame, come up with an idea, come up with your opening point, your evidence, explain. Is this most important? If it's not so important, you could put a however at the end. If it's very important, put a furthermore. And I'll show you an example I've written in a moment. So over to you. Write your second paragraph. Right, so here's my idea. So I've gone for, however, the aggressive foreign policy of Germany was also very important as a cause of war because it led to increased tension between the great powers. So obviously they were making threats quite a lot. For example, Germany's world policy or Weltpolitik led to them building a large navy and trying to gain more colonies in Africa. So I've got some nice keywords in my evidence. I've given examples of some of the foreign policy problems being caused. So now I need to explain each of those different foreign policy aspects. So this led to war because it increased tension with France and Britain. In particular, Britain and Germany started a naval race to build more dreadnoughts. This led to Britain feeling threatened and signing an entente with France and Russia, obviously to get alliances and friends. So now you've got two big alliance groups. Furthermore, Germany tried to gain empire by threatening France in Morocco in 1905 and 1911. This led to France and Britain developing a more military alliance and organising military plans to protect against a German invasion. This shows that German actions led to war as they increased tension and made France and Britain more likely to go to war. However, without the alliance system, a European-wide war would not have been so easy to develop. Okay, so I have said there at the end, I don't think it is important as alliances. I've made that clear at the end. Okay, so tick off some of the things that have gone well in yours. You will have a different argument, of course, but have you got good facts in your evidence? Have you got good facts and information and a good impact of your ideas? That's the main thing. Have you argued and given impact? Okay, so what about the next one? So finally, we have nationalism. Okay, so you might think that's very important or quite important. And give a reason why you think it's important. What's it leading to in terms of nationalism? Can you create an argument with it? Give some evidence and explain your ideas. If you've gone for a totally different point, that's fine. Okay. But obviously I'll show you an example and you can then use that to help assess your ideas. So pause and spend, 5 or 6 minutes writing your next paragraph. Okay, so here's mine. So finally, and I've gone most importantly, increasing nationalism was very important as a cause of war because it led to events in the Balkans that were the spark for war. So You can annotate very clearly what you think is the most important as you go through. I said everything's important, but this is the most important for me. And it's your own interpretation. You won't be the examiner won't think, oh, you're wrong, and mark you down. It's about the quality of your argument. So, for example, increasing nationalism in the Balkans, in particular in Serbia, led to the Balkan Wars and the growth of a greater Serbia. So I've talked about Balkans in my point. So I've given an example of the Balkan nationalism. This led to war because, okay, nice sentence linking to the question. Due to the wars in the Balkans in 1912, Serbian nationalism grew and Serbia demanded land from Austria-Hungary, and this led to the Serbian terrorism of the Black Hand and the murder of the Austrian Archduke Franz Ferdinand. This eventually led to war as Serbia would not hand over the murderers, and Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. Furthermore, Slavic nationalism had increased, and Russia, the protector of the Slavs, felt they had to protect Serbia against aggression from Austria-Hungary. This led to Russia declaring war on Austria-Hungary. This unleashed the alliance system as Germany would be forced to protect Austria-Hungary as the wider war would develop. Therefore, nationalism is most important, as without the increase in Serbian and Slavic nationalism, the empire of Austria-Hungary would not have been under threat and war would not have begun. So that sense of the crumbling Austrian Empire that needs to be protected has been explained there. So your last bit then is to do a conclusion, just to summarize that. However, this answer has a lot of the concluding points already in the end sentences. So it's about sort of collecting those ideas together to make a summary. Okay, well, those big 16 markers are a bit tricky and a bit scary when you're in the exams. Hopefully that sort of gives you lots of ideas to make you feel confident to go and tackle those questions. And of course, the more you practice them, the better you will be at them. And also remember, there's only really a few questions they can ask you for the 16 markers. Pretty much each of the big topics can only have one 16 marker. So if you spend time practicing each of them, you'll be very confident in the exam. Okay, so I've got more of those 16 markers in my revision guide and also more videos to look for. So do look out for more. Otherwise, it's bye-bye for now.